Busy offseason on the wide receiver trade front, so it's time for Wide Receiver Watch. Harry, will start with our resident wideout. Does trading for DJ Moore give Josh Allen enough help to go on a Super Bowl run?
I like this trade a lot for the Buffalo Bills. DJ Moore is going to take a lot of pressure off of Josh Allen, but I firmly believe it wasn't the offense that held the Buffalo Bills back the last 2 years. It was the defense. You look at that game versus the Denver Broncos. They allowed 33 points. The prior year in the AFC Championship game versus Kansas City, they allowed 32 points. When you look at the 6 games that Buffalo lost last year, the defense allowed 24.3 points per game. I love the additions of Bradley Chubb, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Jim Littert coming over from the Denver Broncos and anchoring things in that capacity. They may blitz a little bit more. So the defense held this football team back. I'm looking forward to that defense taking a big step in 2026.
Do you agree with the defense?
I do, and I think on top of that, when you factor in a rookie head coach who's from the offensive side of the ball, that could complicate issues even further. This is a team that last year could not make the conference championship game. That's fine. That's not going to be the end of the world, but it was a year in which there was no Lamar Jackson, no Joe Burrow, and no Patrick Mahomes. Can you guarantee yourself you're going to have that favorable of a run set up again? I don't think so. I think Buffalo's missed it. It's going to be a little while before they maybe get themselves back into true Super Bowl contention.
Get the window with the quarterback at his prime. That is so important here. Joe, I want to stay with you. Michael Pittman Jr. and DK Metcalf plus Aaron Rodgers equals what in Pittsburgh?
Another wasted year for the Steelers? Like, what are we doing here? Ben Roethlisberger retired in 2021. This is going to be the 5th season since in which they've been post-Roethlisberger. What are they doing at quarterback? If Rodgers is back, that's not a long-term plan. We saw how he played last year. Would be the best way to describe it. I'm glad you've got some wide receivers for him, but that's not going to solve your issues, especially in a division where you're going against Lamar Jackson and the Ravens.
Yeah, and look, at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers questions. We still don't know what's going to be in Pittsburgh. So, again, they've got an entertaining offense.
You need a young quarterback. You need to start this thing.
Well, the problem in Pittsburgh is that we all feel like they need to rebuild. They haven't seen that within themselves. But then can you blame them? When is the last time we thought about Pittsburgh rebuilding?
Good point.
Yeah, they don't do it often. Jeff, finally, I want to get you in here. What did we learn about the A.J. Brown market after the Jalen Waddle trade earlier this week?
Well, we learned actually, Matt, that it is exactly where we've expected it to be all along. This just validates what we've already kind of felt about Jalen Waddle and about A.J. Brown and that trade, which, by the way, is more about when, not if. I still anticipate A.J. Brown getting moved out of Philly. Do not mistake the silence that we currently are feeling around A.J. Brown for being indifference or lack of activity. Eventually, after June 1st, I still think this happens. The Jalen Waddle situation only validates that further. By the way, we look toward teams that could potentially trade for A.J. Brown. The Patriots are the perfect fit in his former coach in Tennessee and Mike Vrabel being there. And the compensation, almost exact, guys. The Patriots hold the 31st pick overall and the 95th pick overall. The Broncos, getting Jalen Waddle, had to give up the 30th and 94th. So it's almost apples to apples in terms of the trade comp. I really think that this does feel like a very natural progression this offseason.
So you think it's going to take just that to get into the A.J. Brown sweepstakes?
I think that Howie Roseman knows how to barter a deal, and I think that we'll still wind up seeing some teams try to step in and change that comp. You could look toward the fact that Jalen Waddle is 2 years younger, but A.J. Brown still perhaps productive. You could point toward injury concerns with A.J. You don't really point toward those with Jalen Waddle. I think at the end of the day, the feeling in Philadelphia, at least internally, it still feels like this is headed. I know what we hear publicly. I know what everybody has to say. But after June 1st, when the dead money changes, I do anticipate action when it comes to A.J. Brown. And I think at that point, compensation, we can still look toward Jalen Waddle. If you need to beef it up a little bit with a different kind of mid-round pick, fine. But I still think that A.J. Brown deal does get done.
I would say this, when you look at the Eagles' offensive system, and you can't ignore the fact that they just signed Hollywood Brown. Now, guys of his size, speed, quickness, they have thrived in this offensive system. But at the same time, Sean Mannion, he came from the Green Bay Packers. Now, the Packers early in the year, their number one was Tucker Kraft. The reason why this is significant, Devontae Smith is going to be the number one. I'm not saying Hollywood Brown is going to be the number two if they decide to part ways with A.J. Brown, but I do believe that's going to now become Dallas Goedert. there's a reason why they re-signed him,
Yep.
right? And Sean Mannion, he's going to do everything in his power to make sure that his tight end gets the football, especially because that was a place he came from in Green Bay where they got the tight end of football as well.
And it gets to the point, too, guys, and you know this better than anyone, within a locker room, there's a relationship, right, between quarterback, head coach, and in this case, a star receiver. At some point, and I don't know if we're there yet, it could be the relationship is beyond repairable between the three people that you need to get along.
Somebody's got to go. Between A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, and Nick Sirianni, someone's got to go. And it's got to be an answer for what happened last year. That the results Philadelphia produced was not commensurate with the talent they had on the field. Howie Roseman put enough talent on the field for them to go out and seriously contend for a Super Bowl. What did they do? Won the same amount of playoff games as the Las Vegas Raiders. That might sound harsh, but to let San Francisco come in and do what happened there because of all the problems they had on offense, coach isn't going anywhere. That would have already happened. Quarterback's not going anywhere. That would have already happened. It's going to have to be the wide receiver. You cannot run this back.
Darlington, get in there.
Well, I think you're saying somebody's got to go. I think you can picture A.J. Brown in the corner right now going, I'll be that guy. I'll go. Guys, I think that, I said it before, but I know we're hearing more silence around this right now, maybe making some people wonder, hey, is A.J. Brown happy? I think silence is actually the golden ticket out. I think that shows you exactly what's happening behind the scenes, that this doesn't need to be as loud and vocal at this point. I think that is usually a sign of resignation and action of things to come. Again, June 1st. Is the key date in all of this surrounding A.J. Brown.
You know, we actually did a hand-raising exercise here at Get Up, and the question was, who doesn't